How much time on a weekly basis, give or take, do you like posting it, writing the captions and stuff like that? Anything that involves like the marketing?
Yeah, I would say probably like around between like 5 and 10 hours a week when I'm really on top of it. Sometimes like I'll be kind of lax on it.
5 to 10 hours a week. That would probably be about 40 hours a month, maybe about 5 working days. So roughly about a week. Like if you had time freed up, like what do you personally see yourself doing with
in-person marketing? Like I could be going like kind of like how a sales rep would.
If there was like more events, more things going on, like you can meet new people, maybe partner with another business that benefits from something that you do. Maybe there's extra time to take Teresa out for dinner, like while you have technicians working on other projects for you. That's essentially the whole idea behind why I'm offering the service. It's like, if you're capable of doing it on your own, like by all means, go ahead and do it on your own. But it's not so much, oh, I'm just taking this off your plate. It's more just like, okay, I'm taking this off your plate. You're buying yourself some time. Like you can be a little bit more free as a business owner.
I think that's a good point. Like, you know, we're kind of just diving in and letting you like kind of run with it for us, and like you'll keep us updated on the results. And, you know, hopefully that will be a great investment and we'll get leads off of that, and then he could really be more efficient with his time and kind of think about other things. In my opinion, I'm like, why not just go all in and then let's think about what else we can do to grow the business now that we have someone else doing this. Installation. I help him with taking the videos and then he does like the reels for his social media. I also help him like take calls and stuff like that, and I do the bookkeeping.
Okay, nice. So you guys are just Swiss Army knives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so what made you guys want to apply to the ad?
So we were doing stuff on our own for a while, like social media wise. Every once in a while we'd pay for somebody to like edit a video for us because we have someone that we're closely connected with who does that. But then we just started doing everything on our own, and our views were doing pretty good for a while on Instagram and especially on TikTok. But our views started to go down a lot on Instagram. So he's just looking for somebody to help us edit videos. Like I think that he thinks maybe something that he's doing is just not effective in getting in views. And our goal isn't just to have views and followers. Obviously, like running a business, we really want to get leads, you know, through the views that we're getting. We want people to reach out and ask for our services.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like otherwise it's like, what's the point if you're not bringing if you're getting followers? If you don't mind me asking, what were you guys doing exactly when you were handling things, and then when did you start to see like the dip in viewership?
It was kind of a random dip. He's using CapCut, I believe. And I feel like our reels are pretty good for what we do. So basically, I just record the work that he's doing. So I'll go with him to like a windshield installation. Yeah. And then I'll record him taking it apart. I'll try to get like the best shots, and then he'll put the reel together. And then it was a kind of sudden, like we were having some pretty good views. Like we made a video, it had like 50K views, and then all of a sudden it dropped. And because we were consistently getting at least like over 3,000 views on every video. Nice. And then all of a sudden now it's like there was a few hundred here and there, and then maybe 1,000 here and there, and we've been kind of stuck there.
Is there anything that you guys started doing differently that maybe resulted in that?
I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything different that we've been doing. I'm not sure if it's because we don't understand the algorithm, or if it's because we're being too the same in every video and people are bored. Like I'm not really sure what it is. He has been a little paranoid that like Instagram is making it to where people can't see his videos. He's like, oh, it's not me, it's Instagram. I'm like, I don't know about that. But I don't know how that works.
How about on TikTok? You guys said you were posting a lot on TikTok and getting hits on there. Like, how has that been?
We get a lot of views on TikTok. I think the last video we posted had like over 1 million, but and that's gotten us a lot of followers, a lot of leads, but no closed sales. We get a lot of closed sales on Instagram, and I think that's where he really wants to focus because TikTok is pretty like easy for us. It's pretty consistent. But Instagram, we get a lot of leads that we're able to close sales. And I think he's really just trying to like lure more people in and more leads. Because TikTok will get leads and they just talk. That's really it. We've never closed a sale on TikTok.
Right. So you haven't closed sales on TikTok, so the lead quality is usually pretty low, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Instagram, you get a similar lead flow to there, but they're just better quality.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I would say probably actually a lot more leads consistently on Instagram than we do on TikTok. Okay. And even though the views have dropped, we're still pretty consistent in the amount of leads that we get, which is weird.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So overall, like it sounds like Instagram is like the better platform for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't mind me asking, like how have these like marketing issue like fluctuations, like has it caused any sort of like other bottlenecks like within your business?
No, not necessarily. I think that we've only been in business for a full year. We're going on March is a year and 3 months. Yeah. So we've actually done really good, surprisingly, for the first year of business. Like financially, with the leads, with the social media, with the views, everything's been really great. I think he just doesn't want to ever risk going downhill, you know, like we want to keep going up, and if we notice something's off about our views, like we got to be on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. So overall, like if you were to like create a new marketing plan and a lot more things were to happen for you, better quality leads, it's like, what do you see yourselves like really doing with like that extra business? Like where do you want to, I guess overall, like what are your goals of where you want to take it?
Where we want to take our business or our social media?
Business.
Business.
Or both.
So I mean, like probably in the far future for social media, like we'd probably have somebody managing that, like that'd be their job, but that's like way far in the future because right now it's just me and him. Right now our focus is hiring someone and we want to really focus on continuing to make more videos, more reels. We definitely want to grow the business. It was something that he kind of contemplated between like, we're doing great, just me and you. Like, do we want to stay here because it's comfortable, or do we want to keep stepping out and keep growing this thing? So we finally decided like, no, we definitely want to hire. We definitely want to keep growing and keep plowing. So that's really the goal, is to eventually just have a business that can hold itself up, and we could probably just like train and mentor from the outside looking in type of thing.
Awesome. And like basically just be a little bit more hands off, probably go on more dates.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure. Have you guys ever considered like running ads? Have you ever tried that?
Yeah, and that's actually something that I wish he was here, but that's something that I brought to his attention because I was like, look, like maybe it's this, because he did run a couple ads, and I was like, and then maybe, you know, you were getting a bunch of views for a while. I was like, maybe it's time you just run another ad, but I'm not. So we just don't know. We just wanted to talk to an expert because we're not really sure.
Makes sense. Well, when you were running ads, like, or maybe you're not sure because he's not here, but what exactly was the approach? Would you know?
Do you mean
essentially?
I'm sorry?
Like, do you know like how he set it up, like how he was like targeting stuff like that, or like how much you were putting into it on a daily basis?
I think that it was just like a reel that he made that he boosted. And then our targeted audience isn't specific to like cars because we do auto glass. It's not specific to stuff like that. Like the audience that we're targeting is really just anybody and everybody, because honestly, like if people are looking through their Explore page and they see a lot of cupcakes and puppies, like, And then and we target like an audience like that. Like chances are somebody who loves cupcakes and puppies has a cracked windshield and they want to reach out to us.
Yeah, because pretty much everyone has a car. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter who it is. Like I remember one time I was driving, and all of a sudden a rock flew at my windshield, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell just happened? I'm like, right now I'm a professor. But
And we're thinking about also, I don't know if you're familiar with things like this or if you've ever done something like this, but we were thinking about doing like, I've seen a lot of people who go viral on TikTok and Instagram, they give out free like guides to, like the girl who helps me with my hair gives out free guides to take care of your hair, like
Yeah.
stuff that kind of like attracts people. I'm not sure if you could help us with something like that, but I have a lot of ideas. At first I was like, what could we do? Like, what kind of guide could we give to someone? It's not like we can prevent people's windshields from cracking. And then I thought about like some people's windshields need to be replaced because there's a lot of rust that happens. Like there's so many things that go wrong. So I was like, there's ways to prevent this, and that could be something we put in a guide like that, like how to take care of your windshield, how to prevent this and that. And maybe that would be something that could kind of bring people in.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you have the right idea. And then usually how those things work is just, have you ever heard of ManyChat?
No.
It's basically a software that you would use that does the exact same thing that you're saying. Like for example, you ever see those accounts that are like, DM me this word for the free guide?
Yeah.
It's 100% of the time they're gonna have an automation set up. So it's you comment, like maybe in your case, like comment window and we'll send you the guide. And write to their messages like, oh, here's the guide. And then usually you would kind of set it up to where do you guys have like a lead form that you have on your own website? I can message this to you too, by the way.
You know what? We actually are barely going to publish our website this week. So we have this whole year have not even had a website.
Right. Okay. So if you guys don't have a website, how are you currently, like what's your current sales process with your leads?
Well, our website is finally finished, so we're going to publish it this week. But the way that we've been doing things is really just people Google Autoglass. You know, that's a big thing. They find us, mostly people nearby. I don't know. It's a miracle, honestly, because a lot of it is like word of mouth. We have only 5-star reviews, and we have nearly 100.
That's perfect.
Which is, really, like, there's people who are like, oh, I don't really care what the price is. You're the only company that had a 5-star review, only 5 stars. So, like, we've gotten leads like that. Social media, we started out only using OfferUp. So it wasn't really like something that was a part of the OfferUp guideline. So eventually we got kicked off. But we were able to do that for the entire first year of our business without them like figuring it out.
Yeah.
And so we would just post like a picture of a windshield and then put our services in the description, and we got so many leads and so many sales closed through OfferUp. And I think that really helped us like kick it off, because now there's people who are like, oh, go to Only Auto Glass Kings. I love them. And now we also work with a body shop. We do tinting. We have a lot of referrals to tinting. So the guys that we work with at those two companies, Body Shop and the Tint Guy, they refer their customers to us. We refer our customers to them. So we have like a lot of good relationships that we're building in the industry.
That's great. Yeah. So you guys have put in a lot of the legwork. Over the past year. That's awesome. And then, so if a lot of your work was from word of mouth and referrals, it's like, how consistent has that been for you guys over the past year? Like, is it usually come in pretty predictably?
No, like, can we see it coming? Like, oh, we know this guy's gonna refer?
Maybe not like that, but you're just like, you kind of know like month to month, like, oh, like we'll have more leads coming in, or like, is there any sort of like predictability to where it's like you have enough to where maybe you're not maybe that's your main source and like you don't see an issue with it, or usually kind of hard to like grow things because you just never know when it's coming in?
No, actually, like I thought it might be like that, but yeah, I would say it's pretty predictable. Like
That's
we
good.
know when our busy times are and we know when our slow times are. I think what surprises us is that even in the times that are supposed to be pretty slow, we're pretty busy. Um, Actually, 6 months into starting this business, we both quit our jobs and do this full time now, which is insane. So we're actually doing so good, and I don't even like it's kind of like a dream. Like I'm just like, wow, I can't believe we are here.
hmm Yeah. So overall, it's like keep that momentum going, like
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
multiple lead sources, like make sure like you don't have to worry about like unpredictability, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Cool. Oh, that's great. Like that's not an easy thing to pull off. When you're one of the things I kind of wanted to revisit, I wanted to learn a little bit more about is like your overall sales process. So before you were doing OfferUp, what were you doing after OfferUp? I looked at your Instagram really quick before jumping on the call. It looks like you just take like people that DM you, right?
Yeah, people DM us. We have our phone number on TikTok and Instagram. People text us, call us, comment on our photos or pictures or videos. So that's how people contact us through social media.
Mm-hmm.
What was your question?
No, that was my question. You
Oh,
answered.
okay. I'm like, am I missing a part of this question? Okay.
Yeah. So now that you have the website, like how exactly are you changing that process?
So obviously, we still want to use social media because people are scrolling through there all day.
Yeah.
But with the website, I think it's a completely separate audience. You know, like people who Google things, older people who are like on Yelp, maybe. So we'll have our website linked, and they'll be able to go on. There will be a space for them to request a quote. They could request a phone call, a quote, whatever. We can either email them or call them back.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna have to. There will be a space for them to put their vehicle information. It makes it easier for them and for us, honestly, if they use the website. But I'm not expecting that to be something. I might be surprised, but I'm really not expecting that to be something that we get a lot of leads through
Yeah.
because I don't feel people using websites very much.
I mean, you guys applied through my website, right?
Yeah, yeah, we did.
So, I mean, at least from my experience, I don't really see, like, I don't think the website is like that big of an issue. It's like, especially if it's easier for you, like, you can put in a lot more, you can ask for a lot more information on the website versus asking them through the DMs. So it's like, do you guys have it set up to where, or actually, how is your like lead form set up on your website, or at least when you actually launch it?
Um, it will just say, I believe it says, I'll have to look at it again, but I believe it says like request a quote here, and then they'll click on that, and then they'll be able to put their first and last name, their vehicle information, their email, and if they want to schedule an appointment or not.
Yeah, and then from there, like let's say for example, I was the lead, and I put in all of my information in there, and I click submit. Where does that go? Like, how do you guys eventually find?
It would go to our email
Okay.
right away.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, the reason why I'm asking is because like as long as you guys have something set up like that to where you can very easily and seamlessly like receive the leads, that's really like one of the criteria that I ask. Because believe it or not, sometimes I've talked to people that don't have that set up. I'm like, well, I can't help you much if you don't have that set up.
Yeah.
But no, that's good. Like it sounds like you guys like have your system in place.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, and then you basically just go through like a consultation process. Like when you actually get a hold of them, like how does that process usually look?
If they put all of the correct information, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of cases where we don't get everything we need and we'll have to ask extra questions because sometimes people just don't really understand what we need to know in order to get them the right quote.
Sure, yeah.
So we'll probably just call them back and just make sure like we got the right windshield or whatever the case may be, whatever glass they need. It really is just based on the year, make, and model. So they'll also put like what's wrong. They'll tell us like which window it is, what needs to be done. And then we'll just call them and schedule them from there. We'll call them with a quote. And if they want to schedule, we'll book an appointment with them.
Got it. Okay. So you guys have it all pretty much down. You're just trying to tidy it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, I'm really sorry. Remind me your name again.
My name's Teresa. It's okay. Don't worry.
Okay. So, Teresa, just to make sure I'm understanding everything correctly, the main thing you guys want to prioritize is like just getting higher quality leads through Instagram, mainly because it's you want, even though what you're doing currently is working on, like you could always like grow it, make it bigger, right?
Yeah, exactly. We just want to get our views up on Instagram. That way we can bring in more leads because it seems to be like most effective there.
Okay. So cool. So pretty much, first off, thanks for answering all my questions.
You're welcome.
What I was going to say is pretty much just a quick rundown of what we do is we help you with creating content, almost specifically for running the ads. So it sounds a lot like already, since you've gotten a lot of traction from people, like even just through posting organically, you're in a better place. You're in a better starting place than a lot of people would be. And then, do you mind if I like share my screen real quick just to kind of show you exactly like what this process looks like?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Give me 1 second. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So pretty much what I was advertising online that you guys saw was a system that I call like the cinematic keynote system, and then this is our method to help service-based brands grow their brand awareness and turn their viewers into sales.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you researched my company before hopping on this call, but it's Takai Media, and we've been there's a typo there. It's actually 9 years now.
Oh, okay.
9 years, like basically focusing on creating videos that help with generating sales and building brand awareness. And one of the milestones that we're most proud of is we've created crowdfunding campaigns that have raised over $2 million in revenue. And then these are just a couple clients that we worked with. The one that we raised the money for, they're an electric scooter company. And then this company on the right, they're a wholesale like sunglasses company. The videos that we made for them really helped with brand awareness. And since they're selling more of a commodity, they had said that it really helped with creating the relationship with the viewers and kind of separating themselves from their competition.
Okay.
Following along so far?
Yes.
Cool. So it's not limited specifically to this, but these are a lot of the types of content that I usually offer to people, to businesses that help them with this sort of like system. In your case, I would probably say you'd probably benefit the most from like testimonials and like brand story video. So it's just like a little, I call it like a digital handshake. It's like you introduce yourselves, and obviously you guys are on social media, so you care a lot about the relationship you build with the audience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a more professional way in terms of doing that. That's something that will live on your website, so when you direct like traffic to your website and they choose to like browse around, like they have like testimonials or the branding video to actually watch to kind of help build that trust up. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Cool. And then I think in your particular case too, this is product shots, but it would be more like installation shots in your end, since the video, a lot of the videos that you're posting is more like you guys doing your job, right?
Yeah.
Installing it. Yeah, so even just creating a variety of different types of content where you're kind of focusing on some different cars or different clients, and then posting that on social media, maybe even narrating some of it, stuff like that. That's something that we can discuss, like if you choose to like work with us. But out of all this content, I feel like these like top three kind of might be the most beneficial for you. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Cool. So what we essentially do is we're a video company, but we've also started working with businesses to help them with running ads. And basically, the whole strategy behind it is we'll create a variety of different types of content for you to use specifically for ads. If you wanted to do social media content too, we do, but in some people's particular case, like I would say like, oh, just start off with ads. That would be a better use of your funds over say like social media. Like I don't want to just give you more social media content and then you guys are just getting the same results because you're here because you want to like actually get bigger results, right?
Yeah.
So we personally like try to focus on that like through ads. And one of the things that makes ads a lot more useful than just posting organically is we can actually set it to target and find like warm leads as opposed to just kind of or when you post organically, sometimes it kind of just sprays and prays, right?
Mm.
So we set you up with content that's specifically meant to generate the leads. And then from here, we work with you on setting up the ads, making sure that everything is kind of on brand with you guys, and you guys are being represented the way that you want to be in the ads. Mm. And from there, we would set up the ads to where, in your case, it would be directing traffic to your website when you launch it. So if someone were to see it, kind of like, was it you or your husband that went through my ad?
It was him.
Okay. But basically, it's the exact same process. You see it, a form pops up, you fill out, you see the ad, you click on the button, it goes to the website, they fill out the information that they need, and then from there, like you get their information, and then you would handle the sales process from there. Does that all make sense so far? I know it can be a little jumbly sometimes.
Yeah, okay, so I don't know if you said this or if this is just a question that I have, but sorry that I don't even know if that made sense. But
okay.
Basically, like when you guys help us create the ads, we're going to be able to review them first before they get posted? Oh, okay.
What I meant when I said like making you guys work with you guys to make sure everything is on brand and you guys are presented the way that you would want to be. Like, do you hear me?
Sorry, I had to plug my phone and it was about to die on you.
Oh, okay. No worries. Did you hear the last thing that I said?
No.
I was saying that overall, like we work with you, like transparent about what exactly we're putting out there, how things are written. That way, like you guys are or the ads are presenting you guys in the way that you would obviously want to be presented.
Okay, cool. That would be great.
And then from there, I think I'm showing you an old pitch deck, so my mistake. But basically, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. Basically, what we do is like we'll work with you, like with running the ads and directing all the traffic to your page, and then throughout time, like usually the advertising meta algorithm needs to gather enough information on people that, for example, they click on your page, like it'll collect data like that. And it'll be like, who's the type of person that's going to click on the page based on the people that I already have. So we work with you too on creating ads like that to where it's like it could be re-shown to people. And then from there, like just try to build up the lead flow to where you guys are getting more predictable business through this type of system.
Okay.
Does it all make sense to you so far?
Yeah, definitely.
And then pretty much how how, in terms of a timeline of how long that works, I usually tell people about maybe about 3 months. It can happen faster, but sometimes it's like, oh, I'm not available this day, or oh, I'm not available that day. So there's times like that where it can be pushed a little bit. And I can send you this call after too, so you don't have to worry about writing it down.
Oh, how awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what
Are
I'm
you recording the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate hearing my voice back, but okay, cool.
It's just for taking notes and like reviewing the calls. Like I'd be like, what did this person say? Okay, they said that.
Okay, cool.
So up to you. I just wanted to let you know. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So basically, it's usually about a 3 month process. The first couple weeks to a month is when we like pre-plan everything. I call it the branding workshop. So basically, it's like, what kind of content do you want? Like, is there any sort of messaging? Like, and then I ask you questions about what kind of targeting do we need to do. In your case, it's probably a little bit simpler since it's more open. And then I think since you've been getting a lot of people through your Instagram or a lot of clients through your Instagram, that would even make it a pretty easy place to start, to where we can kind of like take some of that info and like create ads based off of that. And then second month, typical filming and editing phase. And then from there, from third month, for a limited time right now, like when we start off, I'm offering like 2 months of running the ads for you. And then basically from there, like we run it, we review things, we'll go over together what's working, what's not working, like, and then just work with you to like work on any sort of tweaks that need to be made in order to make it as effective as possible for you guys.
Okay.
Does all that sound like something that would be like beneficial to you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, awesome. I think from everything that you're telling me, like you guys are a pretty good fit. So before like I move on to the next thing, like I was looking through the application and it said that, or either you or your husband selected the under $3,000 option for the budget. I'm just kind of wondering, like, do you guys have like a certain number or range that you actually have in mind? Because I don't want to like say all these things and then tell you like, oh, I can't really do it. So I just kind of want to see like where you would be at and see and kind of put together something where for X amount, like this is what I can offer to do for you.
I would say probably somewhere around 1,000. We did meet with someone else that offered us like a bundle for 800, but we wanted to kind of like explore options. It's really just between you two.
Right.
So I think I can talk to him about it because I'm pretty sure like given everything we talked about, like what are your options, and I can discuss them with him, and then we'll see like what we want to do.
Right.
I think that this would probably, I'm being honest, I think this would probably be a better fit for us than the other offer. I really like what you said about running ads and how that's probably a better use of our funds than really just paying you to do the same thing that we're literally already doing and getting the same results.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that with him for sure. So we could talk about pricing. Probably somewhere, we'll just discuss whatever your options are, the cheapest under 3,000, and see what we can do. And if I like something a lot, I'll be able to sell it to him.
Okay, awesome. And then just to be transparent with you too, like the type of package that I'm offering, this is depending on what we end up doing. It's probably going to live somewhere from like $2,000 to $3,000 range. But I also offer to do like monthly payments over the course of 3 months.
Okay, that's great.
So I know that's higher than what your number actually is. So before I actually do that, I just wanted to see, like, is it possible for you guys to like work within that range, or to get the funds to work within that range?
It's definitely possible. I think it was just like personal preference.
Sure.
But I mean, I guess like you could tell me, I know it's probably not good for business, to be like brutally honest. But you do this for a living, right?
Yeah.
Like this is what you do. So like it's pretty effective, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're here right now, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely talk to him about it. I think that this, because I did a lot of research. He was pretty sold on the last guy, but I like went on his Instagram and I was looking at his views and his clients' views, and I was like, they seem like they're all still like in the same spot,
Mm.
in my opinion. Like maybe like a couple jumps here and there from when they started working together. But I was like, I don't know how well this is gonna work for us. I feel like running ads would be better.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, like, what was their offer? Like, what did you not like about it?
So he just does editing. He's not really offering us anything that you're offering us. It's like a lot less, which is probably why it's so much cheaper. He's really just gonna do the editing for us. It is significantly cheaper than who we used to pay to do our editing,
Mhm.
but he mostly does editing for like real estate, and maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe people just don't want to watch people's boring real estate videos. They're just really just like sitting there talking and giving information, and that's what he specializes in. He specializes in editing videos where people are talking to the camera, and that could get boring probably. I don't know, but that's not what we're doing. We're not like, I like the testimonials idea and all that you mentioned, but like for the most part, what's flowing through our social media isn't us like talking about auto glass. It's really us showing our customers what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we focus a lot on ASMR. We weren't trying to, like, it wasn't a goal where we're like, oh, we're gonna do ASMR, but people would comment on our videos and message us and be like, that was so satisfying. I love the way this sounded. I love watching that. So we
Even
started focusing on it a lot more.
yeah, even things that I'm personally like not like interested in or stuff that I wouldn't normally watch, I'll watch because the ASMR is just like
Yeah.
thing about it. It's interesting. But
We
yeah,
used to put like music on our videos, and now he's like, no, we're not doing any music. It's all ASMR. And I'm like, okay. People
yeah,
really like it, so why not?
yeah. No, you gotta stick with to what's working. I mean, even for you personally, like let's even say like we did move forward and I put together like a plan for you. I
Mhm.
would say starting off like I can give you like more of a social media package that can also be utilized as ads. So you can post them and then also run some of them as the ads, or starting off like just specifically ads and then that are meant for you could post them too, but I would shoot, it's a little bit different when I'm shooting for social media versus shooting for ads, because it kind of sounds like you guys have that covered already, so I don't want to just I don't want to just give you more of what you're already doing. I would you would probably benefit the most from like a smaller, like just do the ads, have them managed, have it set up to where you can actually get the leads, and then from there, like you guys can do the sales, focus on your own social media, and kind of having like my team like handling the ad stuff like on our end.
Okay, so I guess my question is, so I can have a better understanding, how exactly would you guys, because I'm thinking obviously like we know how to run ads on Instagram, you just like boost the post or whatever. What do you guys do exactly to like produce better results than somebody who's doing it like in their own home?
That is a good question. Sorry, one second. I'm just trying to grab something.
No, it's okay.
So your question was what exactly will we be doing that's different from instead of boosting it?
Yeah, like are you guys editing our videos, or are we editing the videos and giving them to you, and what are you doing with them? What are your ads doing?
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just grabbing one thing. So basically, what we do, like, firstly, we don't ever really recommend like boosting posts,
Okay.
really, because it's not as detailed as like running ads. Like everyone that I've talked to that have like done boosted posts in the past usually don't see any sort of results. And I would ask them like, what were you doing exactly? Like, oh, we're just boosting it. Like it's literally just trying to get views. So what we essentially do that's different is I can even show you a little bit more in detail. I can even show you like my ad platform so you have a better idea.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. So this ad right here is actually the one that you guys like came in through. So basically, if I were to open this up, 1 second, or even really quick, like, so let's say, for example, I was doing it with you guys. Like I would set it up similarly to how I do it. I specifically do service-based business mainly because I'm a service-based business, so it's just a lot easier for me to do that for service businesses. It's also a lot simpler. So, for example, like over the span of this past month so far, like I've spent $200. I've gotten 2 clients from it so far, and then we can keep track of the amount of leads. So in my case, over the span of like 10 days, I've gotten 10 leads actually applied to this. Mm-hmm. And that $200 that I spent, it averages out to about, you spend about $20 like to achieve a lead. So these are all just like metrics where it's like, gives you like the hard data of what your results are. And then so far, I've been getting the calls, and then I've gotten 2 clients from it so far. And then essentially, I'll dissect it a little bit more. Don't worry about this page. So let's say, for example, I was working with you guys. So I would set up an ad that's kind of similar to this, but it's more catered to what your industry is. So generating leads through your website. So having this option means the button may push will go to whatever link you end up putting. So in your guys' case, it would be the lead form, right?
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at your. So you can either have it go to, where are the ads being posted? Not on social media? Because I see that Instagram is an option to kind of lure people.
It does it on Instagram and Facebook, since Meta owns both of them.
So that's where the ads are being posted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Then yeah, the website.
Yeah. Basically, like how your husband saw it is he probably saw my ad on Instagram, right? And then from there, I had a button that would say, I want whoever's interested to click this link and go onto this link that I choose for them to go onto, which ended up being my lead form. So that would essentially be how it would work for you guys. Running the ad, and then whoever is interested, they click your button, and it'll go to the website that you guys are working on.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense so far?
Yeah.
There'll be options like how much are you going to spend. Right now, I'm just spending $20 a day. And then you can kind of determine how much you're willing to spend based off of what your own budget is. So from here, we'll also do like targeting. So for me personally, I'm just targeting people who are within SoCal. So Orange County, San Diego, Santa Barbara, etc. And then like there's the age demographics. Like, okay, I find I have the most success with people within this age range. For you, it might be a little bit more open because anyone as young as 18 can drive a car, right?
Yeah.
There's different targeting options. In my case, I'm doing small business owners and people with business pages online. So little things like that is what kind of narrows down like, oh, who do we actually show these ads to? Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So essentially it's all just more detailed, a lot more detailed than boosting a post can actually get.
Okay.
And then from there, it's just like, here's my video. So if this was done for you guys, I would be setting up like your video right here. And then you just write out whatever caption you end up wanting to do. And then from here, like I actually like just, this is the lead form that I have. I have it set up on my personal website because on my website, I have it set up to where once they submit the information, like you guys, I receive an email. Does that kind of, I know this is kind of a lot to take in, but does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. So my next question is, are you guys going to be making the posts on our social media for us? Or are we doing that? I just want to.
So the whole idea of my service is you guys will be hands-free. Like the only things that you guys are really doing is just overseeing what I'm doing. Like just approve it. We'll
Okay.
do all the work for you. All you really need to do is approve it. If you guys need to be in the videos for some reason, if you choose to be, then yeah, show up to be on the shoot. But the whole idea behind this is for you guys to be hands-free so that you can focus on what it is that you guys do best, which is the auto glass.
What do you mean show up to the shoot?
Like, let's say, for example, like you wanted to be in the video. Like, that's one of the things I'd have you do. Like, okay, I need you here to be in the video. Something like that. If you chose to do that. That's
Oh,
what
you guys going to be doing filming too?
yeah, this is for video. This is a video service where we'll create the content for you, but we also distribute it for you.
Oh, I thought we sent you our content. How funny.
What the heck? The call ends in 15 minutes.
Okay, so how would that work? Where are you guys located?
I'm in Arcadia.
So you guys would basically, would you go to our jobs with us and you'd be recording?
Yeah, exactly.
That is so cool. Okay, I really like this a lot more now.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Okay. So, sorry if I wasn't clear enough. Like
No, it's probably not your fault. It's probably not your fault. It's probably mine because of my brain.
Okay. Just in case you're not clear, my business is all like done for you video content and lead generation service. So I create the content for you, and then whether it be going to a job site with you, going to a shop if you have it, whatever, that's something that we discuss before actually creating the content. That way, and the whole goal is like, let's be on the same page before like filming everything, so you know exactly what's going to be happening, you know what you're going to be receiving, you know how it's going to be used. So we'll create.
You're going to help us strategize as well. Like, say we're like, we want to come up with something cooler, something different that we haven't done before. You'll kind of help us like brew ideas together.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense for the price. That makes so much sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Since your call is gonna end soon, let's go over the package deal. Or did you already pretty much cover it all with me?
So I covered all of this. Pretty much, I don't ever like give the quotes on the first call, mainly because everyone's different. Everyone's budgets and needs are different. So this whole call, the purpose of it is to basically see what your actual needs are, what are your goals, and then I give you, I'll tell you like, okay, I think you would benefit most from XYZ. So because I don't want to just sell you a package full of videos that you may not necessarily need or necessarily need right away. Based off of the budget that you've shared with me and kind of your needs, I would say something on the smaller end where it's like we just help you, we will create some ad videos for you, and then which will be strategized, scripted, like you'll know, we'll kind of go over with you like exactly how they can be. And then from there, we'll take the content, we'll help with setting up the advertising, setting up to your website so that the funnel, anyone who is interested, they'll get funneled to your actual website, and then that's pretty much the bulk of what the actual offer is. Sometimes people want videos, so that's why I'm on the phone with you to like see like, okay, do we going bigger? Do we go smaller?
Yeah. So, with the package that you think we'd benefit the most from financially and with the ads, what comes with, like, how many ads? How much time are you guys going to be putting into us? Like, that way we know like how much we're getting out of it.
Right. So it's roughly about it's roughly around a 3-month process. The amount of time it takes. Sometimes it could be faster. Sometimes it's just people's availabilities. Like we end up not being able to start as soon as we'd like.
Okay.
I think it's safer to say 3 months. So the first month is basically planning, scripting if needed, like setting up the logistics of filming everything.
Mm-hmm.
Second month would be the filming and editing phase. So set up a day to shoot. It usually takes me about 2 to 3 weeks for me to finish the edits. And then from there, we show it to you. You approve it or ask like, oh, can we change this or that? We'll work with you on that. And
Is
then
this just for one video?
it's for all the videos. Like, however, I'll give you some different package options that we can review like on a follow-up call. Because
okay, and that will basically go over with us like how many videos we'd be getting out of it.
Exactly. Like
okay, that'd be great. Okay.
Goals, and the cost. And then I usually try to give different options. That way you can be like, oh, this one works, this one doesn't, based off of XYZ. And then I don't only give you one video. I don't think that really is valuable to you guys. So unless you're doing some big commercial campaign, then one video. But in your guys' case, it's like, or most people's case, it's like only one is not that helpful to you. So
yeah, exactly.
Together. That way too, if you're running ads, you can switch them out and see if like which one works better. They call it A/B testing. And lastly, actually it's probably about 4 months. So the last 2 months is basically I'll run the ads for you. For a limited time, I'm offering to do it for 2 months. I used to just only do it for 1. So basically, like running the ads, like going over everything, like just trying to tweak whatever needs to be tweaked in order to make it work. And then if you guys decide that you want to like keep working with me past that time, then we can kind of discuss that at that time. So it could last at most like 4 months. It can be shorter, but basically like I'll let you know like, okay, the time for this starts now, or I'm not going to give you like a hard cutoff, like, oh, we didn't finish things within this timeline, so you're done. Like, no, like I'll finish the actual like project that we agreed to. Mm-hmm. I'm just wanting to set realistic expectations of like the timeline. Sometimes it'll fluctuate based off of usually scheduling.
Yeah.
But it could last shorter than that. But you'll most definitely get the content, get the time that I allotted to you for running the ads, and then basically just try to make everything work from there.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. I'm ready to schedule the follow-up call. I think this is great. So awesome. I'm gonna call my husband and let him know. He's pretty good about scheduling. I don't think you'll have an issue like getting a hold of him over the course of 3 months and like getting him to get you on his job sites. He's probably gonna bother you more than you're gonna bother him. So
that's totally fine.
Okay.
I'm kind of a hand holder with all this stuff.
Okay.
Cool. Before the call ends, sorry if it abruptly cuts.
No, it's totally fine.
Send you another link if that happens. But when would be a good time to schedule a follow-up?
As soon as possible. Whenever you have your next availability, I would love to schedule that.
Okay, awesome. 1 second. My computer is being a little slow for some reason. Where are you guys based out of?
We're in Garden Grove.
Okay.
County.
Yeah, not too far for me. I'm in Arcadia.
Yeah, I went up there to the, I don't know if you know the La Meridian Hotel.
La Meridian. I don't recall that.
I think it's in Arcadia. I think
Okay.
it is. But there's like high tea there that we like to go to up there.
Okay. Yeah, I just moved here, so I'm not
From where?
extremely familiar. Montebello.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I would say which works better for I would you be able to do tomorrow at 10 a.m.?
Tomorrow. How long would the call be? Well,
Um, that
we're
calls
not busy until noon, so that should be fine, right? It won't be that long.
say again.
We're gonna be busy around noon, but 10:30 should be fine. I don't think it would go that long.
Yeah, these calls last at most an hour.
Okay, yeah, we.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Cool. So basically, this is what I had showed Teresa the other day. Basically, what I was promoting was what I call the cinematic keynote system. And this is our method to help service-based businesses to grow their brand awareness and turn their viewers into sales. And then I still didn't change that. So if you guys didn't know any, or just to give you guys a little bit of context, my company's Takai Media. We've been creating commercial videos for brands that help them with generating sales and building brand awareness for the past 9 years. And one of the things that we're most proud of is we've helped a startup raise over $2 million in revenue through crowdfunding campaigns. And then that's the client right here. I don't know if you guys are into electric scooters or anything, but that's the client that I had helped. We were helping him ever since that he first launched his brand. And then another testimonial I have is a wholesale eyewear company. Basically, the thing that the videos help them with is since they're selling a commodity service, the branding videos help them with standing out from their competition.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So these are the different types of content that I typically offer to businesses. I believe, Teresa, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we mentioned more like kind of like product shots, like obviously not like a product, but you guys are selling your service. So more like content that's showing off the actual service.
Uh-huh.
And then if you guys were ever and then another thing that would probably benefit your business would be something like testimonials. So since you're a service business and you're working with a lot of different people, like one of the things that builds trust is just, for example, I believe you guys have a lot of Yelp reviews on your page, right? Only 5 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine like having a video of the actual client on your website vocally, like sharing their experience. So stuff like that. And then, you following along so far?
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. So pretty much what I had put together for you guys in terms of what I believe would probably be the best approach for your content strategy. I can help you with creating the videos, like showing up with you on your jobs and filming some different videos to showcase you actually working and doing your job. And then I had also offered running ads. So I remember Teresa was mentioning that on your social media, it was doing really well, just from organic. I think you were posting like some ASMR videos or something, and then you ended up getting a lot of leads from that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even to start off, one of the things I was thinking can be beneficial to you is we can even take. I noticed that ASMR video that you posted, it has like a really, really high level of engagement compared to your competitors. Like I looked up some of your competitors and I noticed like pretty much no one gets like the same numbers as you guys. And then when I looked at that reel specifically, you had a lot of engagement, you had a lot of comments, you had a lot of people like engaging, you had a lot of views. And views is kind of a vanity metric, but the one thing that I kind of noticed was, I had a lot of comments, I had a lot of shares. So one of the things that I was thinking would be a really good way to start off is writing that as an ad to start off. That way you can kind of like prioritize like hitting the ground running, and then you can create similar videos to that to basically help with running ads. So far?
Sorry, could you repeat the last thing you just said?
I was saying that while running, I was suggesting taking that reel that was performing really well for you guys and setting it as an ad to direct traffic to your page to get more leads. And then while that ad is running, we can also shoot more videos just like that, so that you have different ad creatives to test out. Because sometimes it's good to have an ad, but there's usually going to come a point to where fatigue. Have you ever heard of that?
Sorry, you cut out the last thing you just said as well.
Basically, I was saying that while we're shooting more videos similar to the reel that you posted, basically like down the road you'll have additional videos to use to either run more ads or switch them out, because people at some point experience what is called ad fatigue. Have you ever heard of that term before?
It's like when you see the same one a couple times, you get annoyed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that's the whole idea behind it, and then we would help you with managing the ads and having consistent meetings to kind of go over the performance of it, and then just have it be a hands-off thing for you. That way you can focus on doing the sales, closing the leads, and doing the actual service. So far?
Yeah.
Sweet. So pretty much what we do is we create a variety of different content styles for the ads. So videos and photos, carousels, stuff like that. That way we can mix it up, and then everyone responds to ads a little bit differently. So one of the best practices is to create a variety of different formats and then test those out on ads to see like which ones perform the best. And then obviously the ones that perform the best, you keep using it, put more money into it. And the ones that don't perform as well, like, okay, you learn that maybe that one doesn't work, or we just have to change some different things to see like what can work. And then from there, have you guys finished your website yet? I remember Teresa was talking about that last time we spoke.
No, it's not done yet.
Okay. So when do you personally see or predict like that would actually be finished?
I think it's today. I have the password to log in.
Probably toward the end of the week.
Okay, that's not that long.
Yeah.
So basically what I would help you do is, along with running the ads, we can set up some different targeting features like from the ads. I know that this probably seems a little confusing, but in layman's terms, we can set up like trackers, which is called a pixel. And from there, we can set that up on your website. That way and on your lead form, that way we can actually track like the people that are interested. So let's say, for example, if I were to click on your ad, if I were to go on your website and click on the lead form and submit, then Meta is basically going to track like my action on your website. And then from there, it's going to use that information to try to find people that have similar like shopping patterns to me. So in other words, like try to find people that are more likely to click and submit a lead form. And then basically, that's not something that you can do right away, because you have to allow it some time to actually gather that information. But then after a few weeks to maybe a month, you can actually set that up to where it's going to retarget people and then make your ads a little bit more effective.
So that's a lot. Well, kind of seems similar to boosting the post, but almost a little bit better.
Right. Boosting.
We got most of our clients last year from boosting, because before, when we started our page, even if we had really good videos that got traction, 0 organic leads for the longest time until like November, December. Then we started getting like 1 or 2 a month. The December maybe got a little closer to 5, and then January got a handful. And then ever since that, we just posted that one video. It's just been like leads, like phone ringing off the hook.
That's good.
Now it's dying down a little bit, but still, we've never seen organic leads like that, until now.
That's great, because I've never actually heard of people getting anything from boosted posts, so that's good. And
Really?
then, yeah, most people, when they boost, there's a variety of different factors. Sometimes they're not paying enough money, or maybe they didn't set it up correctly. So that's good. You guys seem social media savvy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just, try to do my best at it. I've never really been, super big on social media, but now that it's directly affecting the performance of my business, I'm trying to do, be the best at it. So.
Right. And then what do you feel like was the biggest like pro and the biggest con for doing organic from your experience of that?
Doing organic?
Yeah, like organic or even that boost post that you did.
Well, organic, I would say, the biggest pro is there's no cost besides, what it costs to produce. Some of those videos were edited myself, and some of them were edited by someone that I paid to edit. And then the biggest con of the organic would be not as many leads. Whereas, you could just directly flip the pros and cons for paid. And additionally, what I noticed with the paid ads is that it seemed to attract people who are a little bit more serious. So I definitely got a ton of work from the boosted posts, and just like consistently too. Every time we would boost, if we needed some jobs, we would just boost the post, get a few jobs in. And then, so it seemed to be that the people who were, what am I trying to say here? The leads that we got from boosted posts seemed a little bit more serious and ready to buy than the ones organic. Because like I said, we got a just ton of organic leads, but like from Facebook, I don't think we actually converted any. TikTok, if it was either 0 or 1. And then Instagram, we've converted a couple. So Instagram honestly seems to be, and I think it's maybe the audience too, because TikTok is generally a younger audience. Instagram seems to be the more high 20s, low 30s audience who have a good idea of, not, pricing and value for their money. So it seems to be a nice, middle ground of balance. Facebook seems to be a little bit older generation. Like high 30s, low 40s. And they're kind of in the middle too. Instagram seems to be the best market, honestly.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Even with myself, like I get most of my hits from Instagram, and then I haven't really tried TikTok yet. Maybe I will in the future, but I feel like when you have something that's working, then it's working, right?
Yeah. If
you were to incorporate this is basically kind of the end of like the general like ads like sort of like layout in terms of an overview of what I'd be doing. Like if I were to help you incorporate this into your business, like what would you personally do with what am I trying to say? If you start seeing that things growing, you start seeing like more consistent, like serious leads, like where would you personally want to see the business grow?
Well, right now it's just me that does all the work, and my wife does mainly the administration stuff. My goal would be the business to grow by, at least one person, an additional technician by the end of the year, and then maybe a second one by next year. And then kind of just snowball from there. But not at I would say, gradual growth. maybe like one guy a year, maybe until a couple years from now, maybe we'll grow a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. So that would kind of be like a 2-year goal at least, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How about even like a 5 to 10-year goal?
So 5 to 10 year, that's kind of the part of it where I kind of have trouble envisioning for, but I would say probably like at least like a good handful of guys.
Mhm.
For like a 5-year goal, about maybe 4 to 5 guys that can do the work, and then probably just continue to build from there. Honestly.
And then if you have 5 guys working under you within the next few years, like what are you going to do? What would you be doing with your time now that you're probably a lot more freed up?
Ultimately, my main goal is to be able to build the business to where it can run itself. Per se, because obviously there's always going to be oversight needed.
Yeah.
But my true personal desire is to study to become a pastor. So I don't really envision myself, running an auto glass business hands on, for the rest of my life. Truly, my desire is to pursue ministry.
Great.
But I would say, I would say really like I want to just spend like the next like 5 years or so really building it until it can become self-sustaining and self-operating, and then continue with oversight. And because I'll always still be running the business, but I just won't be consumed in basically building it and growing it as I would be during this right now, like startup phase, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. Like overall, like your whole kind of like life purpose in a way is to like give back to your community in the through ministry, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Teresa's probably thinking some more vacations too.
Yeah, she said totally.
But yeah, so how do you feel overall about everything that I presented to you? Do you feel like this would be valuable?
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be valuable.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and then to finish everything off, like I was saying, every ad when we run the ads, we'll set it up to where all the leads are led directly to your website when it's finished. I'd also put, if it ends, let's say worst case scenario, it ends up being a little bit late, we could always like test it on running the traffic to your Instagram as well. There are ads where you can get people to specifically DM you. So and depending on where you guys are at, if we move forward with that, then we can kind of choose, okay, we'll start off with this and then move to that sort of thing.
Okay, and then so all of the boosted posts that we're doing, we're just getting in the leads through DMs, DMing back, setting up the appointments, and then knocking it out that way. So really, that's the only experience in ad running. I never ran Google ads or anything. Really, the only paid ads that I ever did was on Instagram.
Right.
So basically, just because I haven't, I've never obviously, because I haven't had my website set up, I've never had the leads go to my website. So would you say that would be a more effective strategy than just doing the DMs?
I think that it would make it probably easier on you guys if you were to do it through your website. Do you have like a CRM set up? Or actually, let me rephrase that. When people are going to be submitting their information through the website, how are you guys going to personally receive the info?
They said that they're going to set it up through email.
Okay.
Or it already is set up through email, says Teresa.
Yeah, so every time you open it up, or so every time someone submits, you're going to receive an email right away.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I would say that it's probably a little bit easier to kind of keep track of in terms of like email. And then if you have like a CRM software, then they can usually organize that information for you. And then from there, it's like all onto like a dashboard on a website. Versus on Instagram, you can make it a little bit more automated. Like, have you guys ever heard of a ManyChat?
No.
So, or have you guys ever seen posts where people say, "Oh, DM me like this word, and I'll send you like this thing"?
Yeah.
So, whenever people are saying that, those are people that are using ManyChat, and then basically it's an automation software. It's an automation software. So you would set it up on your Instagram page, and then let's say, for example, you said, "DM us the word quote" to actually, and we'll respond to you. You can actually set up automations to where it'll, it's kind of like an AI in a way. It'll basically respond to the person based off of what exactly it is that they're asking. So usually you can kind of get through the conversation a little bit faster without actually physically doing it. And then from there, you can set it up to where it's like, oh, the warmest people, it's like, oh, give us a call at the end, and then, and stuff like that. It can kind of be like a lead form in its own way, probably just a little bit more complicated, but more hands off.
So kind of like where you go to a website and then the little AI bot says, "Hey, what can we help you with?" and you talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. Except it would be through your Instagram messages.
Oh, okay.
It's a little intricate, but not extremely complicated. But once you actually have that set up, then the conversations will be a little bit more automated. So basically, the amount of time that you would spend asking people all these questions that you've asked a million times, you can set up to ask the questions for you without actually doing anything. So if that was valuable to you, then you can basically spend less time like talking to them and more time fulfilling another side of the business that maybe needs some more attention.
Yeah. Yeah, so what he's saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's saying that basically they'll kind of get the initial information, and then once it actually seems to be like more of a lead, or like once the initial information is gathered, then they'll just direct them to call us, right?
Or go to the website.
Or go to the website.
Yeah, I would, however you guys want to do it. You can customize it pretty easily. If at that point so basically you would be qualifying them beforehand. And there's a lot of different things that you can do. Like you could even send them free resources or send them like your phone number, something like that. Or you can send them to the website. So it's all like pretty customizable. But I think that's something worth looking into if you guys ever found that your hands are constantly tied up with talking to people, asking the same questions.
Yeah, it is, it is like that all the time.
But yeah, something to think about. And then I can email you the link to that as well. And then you can research it on your own.
I found it already.
Okay.
ManyChat. So overall, you feel like this is something that will be useful to you and like align with what your goals are?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, awesome. So pretty much then, what I was going to show you next is just the overall offer. Andrew, when you had applied through my ad, like I'm doing a promotional thing right now, with the intention of getting case studies like for this exact service, but to kind of break it down for you, what exactly you're going to be getting. We start off with a branding workshop, which is all the pre-planning and prepping that goes into creating the content. So scheduling, like making sure we're on the same page with the ideas and all that stuff to make sure that on the actual shoot days, it goes as smooth as possible. The content that I and then we can do like a 1-day shoot to shoot all the content. It's not going to be too hard. I was going to give you 4 ad videos, so we can discuss that a little bit more in terms of what they would be later. But this would be with the purpose of having different ad creatives to actually prevent the ad fatigue, is what I was going to say. And then for a limited time, I used to offer the ads management for 1 month, but for now, I'm going to be for a limited time, I'm going to be offering it for 2 months. That way I can work a little bit more intimately with you and make sure like we are like building it out to the way that you need. And then since this is a special offer, some bonuses I have is I could also throw in some photography. That way we have another mix of the ad creatives, and then we'll give you unlimited revisions until you're satisfied. And since those are bonuses, I plan on I'm just going to give that to you guys as the bonus. So with all of these together, this is a package value of $7,200. But since this is a special promotion that I'm running, I'm going to cut it down to $3,000, or you can do 3 monthly payments of $1,100. So how does this all sound to you so far?
So basically it would be 1 day of shooting, 2 months of ads management, and then 4 edits. And then what's the branding workshop?
Branding workshop is all the prep that goes into the actual like shooting. So it's initially we'll set up a call. If you decide to move forward with it, we're going to set up a call. Basically, I work with you one-on-one to make sure like we all know what's going to be going into the videos, and then also knowing like exactly what kind of details I need to be keeping in mind when it comes to putting together the ads. So all of the prep work that goes into producing all of the deliverables for you.
Okay. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So
Sorry.
it sounds good. It sounds like something that we'll think about, and we'll obviously take consideration into. I always run everything that I do in my business through my my business consultant as well. So that's basically, I usually don't ever give an immediate yes or no on a sales call, like no matter who it is or what it is that.
For sure.
I always take some time to think about it and consider it no matter what it is. And then sometimes I do, and then sometimes I don't. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I totally get it, because obviously you got to discuss it with Teresa. You have a business consultant that you probably like and trust. Like overall, like I'm not trying to pressure you into making like a hasty decision, but I'm just here showing you what exactly it is that I can do for you. You can, if you need to, you can take some time to think about it, and then we can discuss that more. If you don't mind me asking, since you were talking about talking to your business consultant about it, like what do you plan? Is there anything that you have in mind that you plan on asking him? Like, is it something that I can help out with or help you answer?
Not necessarily. It's just his opinion on basically your offer.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the value of your offer, but like if he'll help me decide on if it's a good move for our business or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. How about Teresa? I know you're listening right now too. Is there any questions that you personally have?
Yeah, actually I do. My only question is that on your 1 day of shooting, is that videography and photography all at once in 1 day?
Yes.
And how many hours is that? Is it a full day, like 8 hours?
Yeah, 8 hours. Honestly,
Okay.
whatever amount of time it takes us to actually film everything to its completion, whether it takes 10 hours or it takes 7 hours, like the whole idea is we're there until everything is done and we can deliver. We have enough material to where we can deliver on everything that we talked about.
So you would go with him to multiple jobs to shoot multiple ads?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's kind of where like the pre-planning kind of comes in. Um, it would be more ideal to set it up in a way to where you do have some of the jobs like lined up.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can actually get it all. It makes it a lot easier for everybody just to kind of get it all done in the one day. So that's why, or that's kind of why like the like something like the branding workshops is important, because there's a lot of planning that goes into it just to make sure it goes smooth, and then also it would be more ideal to set up the day in a way where it's like we can actually do those in one day, and then that's overall,
Yeah, that's fine. I wasn't saying like multiple jobs on different days. I just meant like
yeah.
that way we know that we would want to probably do it on a day that we had multiple different types of jobs. That way we can get the most out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's all. That's the only question I had, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only question I had.
Okay, you know what? I have a question as well. So, meta ads management is that
Facebook and Instagram.
is that excuse me? Does that cover? So that's just you overseeing the ads, right? So that would be that plus whatever investment I would need to make for whatever level. It's kind of like boosting the post, right? You know, like pay per click almost.
Right. So how that essentially works is the meta ads management is me overseeing it and then like managing it for you. You would have to cover the ad spend, but part of the package is me like actually managing the budget for you, and then we could do it on your own account. Like I'm not going to have you like create something on mine and then you don't have access to it at some point. Like I want to set everything up to where it's all within your ecosystem. You would just give me the permissions I need to actually like access it.
Yeah.
So, and then from there, I would manage these things for you, and then we can discuss too, like we can go over like the ad spend like budget as well. One of the things that I personally use too that makes it a little bit easier is have you ever heard of PayPal credit?
Yeah.
Like paying for the ads on PayPal credit is an option too. So it's like it does add up progressively. So being able to basically pay it off later makes it a lot more helpful. And then PayPal credit does this thing where if you pay off a balance within 6 months, then it doesn't charge you any interest.
Yeah, I have PayPal credit. It's super dope.
Yeah. So that's one of the little hacks that I personally do.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have any other questions? Like, how do you guys feel about this overall?
You know what? I actually feel pretty good about it.
Okay.
Another question. What do you see as the most benefit? It's pay per click essentially, isn't it?
It has it set up to where it's more pay per impression. So it's just going to show a bunch of people it.
So it's pay per whoever looks at it, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can even show you my ad dashboard if it kind of helps you be a little bit more familiar with it. Let me change this really quick. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one right here is actually I turned it off momentarily just so I can change some stuff. But basically what it's going to be doing is this is how I would kind of work on your guys' end too if I was managing yours. Like we'll see, okay, about 8,000 people saw it, 5,000. Reach is more like
like actually intentionally watching it. So it's a little, kind of makes more sense to pay attention to this one sometimes. And then in terms of the amount that's paid, I believe it normally does it by impressions. Sometimes you can change those things, but in my case, like it just pays for the impressions. And then from there, it's like we can actually see, oh, how many leads is there? There's been 11 so far. And then and then from there, you can use this data to kind of be like, okay, is this working? Is this not working? And then it'll also give you a ratio of, oh, how much money are you spending per acquisition of a lead? So let's say mine says $26. So what if I was like, if a concern to you was getting this number down, be like, hey Scott, like let's try to lower the cost per lead. Like, okay, let's make some tweaks on some different things that need to be done to actually experiment and see what works in terms of lowering that. And there's no specific thing to do that lowers this. It's more just about seeing which videos or photos actually does the best. Sometimes even just playing with the targeting and experimenting to see which one generates the most results. So that's why I started offering an additional month, the 2 months. That way there's extra time to actually like work on those tweaks. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So so basically, you can kind of just, how do you usually do it? You just like say what kind of, yeah, how do you usually do it? Like, so when you start a campaign, what usually when I do a boost on Instagram, I would be like, okay, I'm going to run this campaign $25 a day for 10 days. And that was $250 campaign.
Yeah. I'll open it up for you. I'll show you. So the first page, it's pretty simple. This one I don't really change, but the campaign objective in our case is leads, right? So that's pretty much the first page. From there, you have the conversion locations. So in my case, I wanted to generate leads to my website. That way people can submit their information on there, and then I can have their information within my system. And then I basically have different like automations set up to where once someone submits, then my system starts sending people stuff. And so that would probably be the same case for you with websites. If, like I was saying, for whatever reason, maybe your website is late and you needed to start on Instagram, then we can just there's an option just specifically for Instagram. And then the pixel, the tracking stuff, that's what I had mentioned earlier. I can't actually change anything because I have to duplicate it, but just to at least give you guys an overview. So this little thing that I have set up, that's something you'd have to like go into your website and like copy and paste some code and stuff like that in order to actually get to work. But this pixel is actually like tracking like the people that submit onto the form. So that's what I was mentioning. Would help with like the retargeting aspect of the ads. $20 a day. Let's see. Okay, here's a useful thing. So like targeting, for example, you can target by location. In my specific case, I'm just targeting like the Southern California area. And then I've personally noticed that the clients that I typically get are typically going to fall within the 25 to 50 range. Sometimes if you go older, you start getting like confused, like older people that don't even like know why like you're calling them or submit their information by accident. So I fixed that problem by just lowering the age, and I noticed that people were not clueless if I called them.
Yeah.
So different behaviors. So in my case, I put small business owners. In your case, it might be a little bit more open since everyone has a car pretty much. Everyone is going to run into that problem. It's not really a specific type of person that is going to have that sort of issue. So in your case, I would probably leave that to not specifically target anyone. if you wanted to experiment with that, like we could, but at least from a bird's eye view, I don't really think you necessarily need these. And then let's see. That's that. And then this last one is pretty much just the actual ad. So we would upload your ad to here. You'd set up which accounts you're gonna actually play it on. And then from there, you would just type in whatever caption it is that you want. So that's something that we work with you on too. Like sometimes the actual caption is the actual caption matters a lot too. So that is going to be something that's experimented with.
Oh, okay. The algorithms pretty much all do SEO now, huh?
I don't know exactly if SEO would be the right word. It's more, in this case, that's more of a like a search engine sort of thing. This is more for like, what do I need to write to grab your attention? What do I need to write to actually get you interested, sort of thing? Because writing all of this, it's not going to make it show up in any sort of search. But if someone who, let's say, for example, wants to read the caption but didn't read the video, watch the video, it's like, what do I need to write in order to get them to be interested, sort of thing. It's supposed to kind of complement the video in a way.
Okay.
Normally, don't stray too far away from. Basically, usually what I'm writing is going to be identical to what the video is. Some people will read it. Some people will read it but not really pay attention to the video, or the other way around. So it's just those things that it's useful to have. And then from here, like the call to action. So I'm sure you remember this part, right?
Yeah.
There's the learn more button, and then this will actually go onto my website, or the lead form that I have set up on my website. From there, that's pretty much everything. So, and then basically from the ad, it'll take you here. And I'm sure you recognize this page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how it works. And then from there, like say this is your website, you fill in all the information, and then from there you would get your email to your actual from the lead form website. So essentially, what I'm offering in the actual package is pretty much exactly what I do. Obviously, your tools are going to be a little bit different, and mine are a little bit more catered to like what I need, but the overall idea is pretty much the same. You're probably going to have a much simpler version where I have like my own version where I have my own version where I want it to do, but the outcomes are all the same.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so did you have any other questions or concerns?
No, I think that's it.
Awesome. Teresa, how about you?
No.
Okay, perfect. So you still wanted to talk to your business mentor, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So why don't we do this? Can we schedule a follow-up? Can we schedule a follow-up call, like for a time after you speak to him?
Yeah, for sure.
How soon would you want to do a follow-up?
Let's do a week from now.
A week from now. All right. Give me 1 second. What would likely be a good day for you? Let's see. I have the 26th, 27th, 28th.
26, 27, 28th. Let's do what times do you have available?
Let's see, on Monday I can do 10, 11, or 12. 27th, 10 or 12. And then on the 28th, 10, 11, 12.
Let's do the 27th at 10.
All right, sweet. So, did you see my DM that I sent you a few days ago?
Yeah.
Or is that a quote? Since we're only doing the videos and not the ad stuff, like, is that a price that you'd be willing to move forward with?
Almost, yeah, kind of for the most part.
Hmm.
So I was just thinking to myself, like I see the value in it, but I just want to see, like, basically I kind of want to have a little bit more assurance that I'm going to get a return on my investment.
Sure.
I know I asked this last time, but you're gonna have to bear with me because, like, I don't have the best, like, memory. You probably have to explain the whole entire thing, but as far as, like, the branding workshop, what can I expect to receive from that?
So if we're not going to be doing the ads, like, you're not really going to be getting the full thing in terms of the branding workshop. Like, that's more of like prepping for the shoot, like prepping for like the ads, like, and all that stuff. Like, it's kind of a process that requires a few calls in order to, like, make sure that we're on the same page, and then to really kind of hone in on, like, the details of everything. If we end up not doing the ads, then there's kind of just all that there really is just like a much smaller portion of it, which is like, I'm going to help you with the videos, like, we'll prep them, set them up and whatever, but not exactly going to be going into like the advertising stuff. I can answer some of your questions about it, but I'm not necessarily, of course, I'm not necessarily going to be hands-on with that exactly. So to answer your question about a return on investment, if we were to go that route, like, I can't really guarantee anything because, like, at that point you would be taking the responsibility for it. It's like, so I can't necessarily tell you, like, oh, this is going to work, versus that's why I package it the way that I do, because at least if I'm like the one handling it for you, like, I can take that responsibility. So does that make sense?
Not really, because essentially the only thing, I mean, the ads management is pretty like straightforward for the most part. I mean, just managing the numbers and managing the budgets and stuff.
Right.
Because no matter what, like, if we're still creating videos for the purpose of using them for advertising to get business, then it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. What exactly was not really making sense to you from what I was saying?
Oh well, I mean, like, we're still doing the shoot, and basically the only thing in my mind, what I'm seeing is the only thing that would be not the same would be the fact that you're managing the ads after the fact that everything's already done and produced and shot.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's not making sense because it wouldn't make a difference between who's doing it. Is that what you're thinking?
Essentially, yeah. So
Right.
if we're planning for an end goal, which would be to use the videos for advertisements, then I don't, like, now the whole process will be different.
Sure. I mean, really, the main differences between, like, me doing it versus me not doing it is, like, say if I'm helping out a client, it's like someone can say, like, oh, I'm going to handle it myself. I say, okay, that's fine, and then let them do it on their own. Like, there's some different nuances to, like, running ads. It's generally like you said, like there's not always one way of doing it. So it's like my definition of knowing how to do it might be different from your definition of knowing how to do it, right? We wouldn't really know unless we sat together and, like, did all that stuff, is what I'm saying. So in terms of an ROI, it's like when I offer this to clients, I'm taking on the responsibility of doing that. And I'm using what I personally know, what I've personally experienced as what works and applying it to there. Like even if I shared it with you, even if I shared my process with you like I was doing, it's like I'm not necessarily going extremely deep in the weeds of like, oh, do this, do that sort of thing. So it's like you can take the concept that I presented to you, but it's not always going to mean like everything's going to be set up the same way. It's like, so if you were to take an auto glass business like you might do it a little bit differently than another auto glass business, right? You guys are doing the same thing, but one might be better than the other in terms of like the slight details. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the point that I was trying to make. So if you wanted me to not, or if you wanted to do the ads yourself, that's totally fine. It's just like at that point, it's like I can't necessarily guarantee you like anything because I'm not exactly sure what you're going to be doing. But even if I was to like take on the ads for you, like I'm not the type of person who is going to make you a guarantee. I kind of think that's a lot of marketing fluff that a lot of like ad agencies will do. Like, oh, we'll make you this much money in this month, in 1 month or 2 months, make you like 10x your revenue back. Like from my experience, even when I work with other marketing agencies that hire me for work, it's like everyone's a little bit different. So there's no like real guarantee on a timeline. A lot of times you're being given a guarantee on a timeline. There's a little bit of a reason to be like skeptical, or even like a guarantee on results, unless they specialize in auto glass businesses and they only do that and they can show you like results from other auto glass businesses. Like you can never really guarantee anything. So that's why this is more of like an investment. It's like building out something long term. Kind of like when you start your own business. Was there a guarantee that you're going to be successful when you started your business?
No.
Yeah, exactly. But you do what you need to do over time. You learn what needs to be changed, what needs to be doubled down on, and then eventually you kind of figure out what works and what doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, it's like I can't necessarily guarantee anything. I can only guarantee that I'm gonna use like the tools and things and approaches that have personally worked for me. That's why you're on the call, and then apply it to your business. And then from there, you can be the judge of whether it works or not, and if you want to keep doing it. So that's why I personally take on the responsibility of like offering that service, because it's working for my service business. Let's apply it to other people's service business. I know I went on a tangent, but does that help?
Yeah. Well, my wife had a question. What was your question?
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, he kind of answered it already because I was just gonna ask, like, because he was saying like no at first because you're taking responsibility, but then he said that he also can't make a guarantee. But I guess I do have a question for both of you, I guess. When you run ads, Andrew, do you just like do the normal, like I'm going into Instagram, I'm posting an ad and then look at the insights?
What?
Is that how do you run ads on Instagram?
Basically, I just click who I want to target and then post the ad.
Okay, so well then my question is, what does he do differently when he does ads?
Right.
Or is that like a secret? I'm just wondering, like, why is it different? How could it be different?
Yeah, it's a good question. So to get a little bit of context on when you guys are doing it, if I remember correctly, you were originally boosting the posts on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
and then let's say, for example, someone saw the ad, um, they opted in. Like, what happens from there? I think you said you get an email, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then from there, like, what's the whole like sales process from like receiving the email to like closing the sale?
So from Instagram, we would get DMs, and then we would just ask for the information via DM, and then quote them, and then say if they want to move forward, and either they move forward or they don't.
Right.
We basically handle everything through DMs.
Yeah, that makes sense. So one of the things that kind of comes to mind too is you before talking to me, like you were running ads, things were happening, you were getting some leads, you were getting some ROI. So what changed that made you want to actually talk to me, to someone like me?
Just exploring other options and seeing,
Hmm.
basically exploring other options.
Yeah. What made you want to explore the options though? Like, was there a particular reason?
Well, we've basically been focused on like one type of content, which is basically just our work,
Right.
and it works. I just wanted to see if we could like do it better or tap into like or maybe use a different style of video or something like that we could tap into something that might work better.
Yeah. And then what made you why did you want to make it better? Like, what was wrong with it before?
Not necessarily wrong with it. I just wanted some innovation, basically, with
Mhm.
where I was heading with it.
Yeah. And then, so you wanted to improve the content. You wanted to have innovation, like in terms of where you saw the business when you implement the innovation. It's like what exactly did you have in mind?
Um, Basically, I just wanted to see, what we could do differently that would produce a better result.
Hmm. And then, if you're looking to get a better result, like, were you not content with the result at the previous result, or you're just looking, or like you say, like you were looking more to innovate and improve it,
Yeah,
right?
a little bit of both, actually.
Hmm. And then, what's the whole like goal behind that? Like to improve everything.
The goal behind that would just be to have a better presence on
Hmm.
social media, as well as attract new customers and make more sales.
Right, exactly. And then another thing that kind of comes to mind is like, if you want to innovate, or how big is your whole team? Like, it's just you and your wife, right?
Yeah.
Do you actually have like the capacity in in terms of working with the two of you to actually like get to those things?
Like to take on more work, you mean?
Like, you want to get more clients, right? You also want to grow your social media presence, and you want to work on the advertising, stuff like that. Like, are you guys able to handle that kind of workload even now? Like when you're trying to scale it up?
Sometimes. You mean workload as in like more clients?
I mean, both. Like, if
Like the
you
behind
were
the scenes and the
like
actual work?
your current like position, or where you're currently at with your business, you guys are handling the marketing, handling the sales, handling the delivery, driving to wherever you have to drive to actually deliver. You probably buy materials and stuff to actually do the job. And like how what I'm trying to say is like with just being the two of you, like how well do you handle like the workload?
Um, Pretty good, honestly.
Mm.
Like it just gets a little crazy during summer, That's where we sometimes have trouble managing it, but
Right.
as far as like during other times, it's pretty good.
So when during the summer times, I guess when it's like more peak, like what or how come you guys have trouble managing it?
Um, the phone just pretty much rings off the hook, and since I'm the only technician, the people in different cities of Orange County and stuff are running around back and forth, and with auto glass, everyone usually wants same day service, so like
Right.
it gets hectic.
So would you or is hiring like more technicians like something that you would want to be doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then of course when you hire more technicians, that's going to come with some like extra like babysitting and stuff like that. A lot of like
baggage. Yeah.
like have you ever like worked like managed like other technicians before, or if things have been kind of like enough to where it's like you can handle it on your own?
No, we haven't had other technicians before.
Or even like during those peak times when you're the one kind of scrambling back and forth, like how about your wife? Like what is it? I'm sorry, what was your name again? I don't want to just call you your wife.
Teresa.
Teresa. Okay, sorry about that. So Andrew, when you were like busy running back and forth like a headless chicken, like trying to service all the clients, like Teresa, like what exactly are you like working on in the background? Like, is it all just the sales and the marketing and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, actually, I haven't really like dove all the way into marketing. That's something that he's really been doing. I'll like take the videos for him, but he really does all the marketing himself.
Oh, gotcha. How about
I
during the or sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Oh no, you could go. What was your question?
I was gonna say like okay, like Andrew, if you're handling all the marketing yourself, how efficiently are you handling it like during your peak times, like during the summer?
Well, essentially, yeah, you kind of just like set it and forget it type
Mhm.
of thing. So basically, like what I'll usually do is I won't just run it. I'll just run it for like 7 days or 10 days, and then kind of see the results of like what took place. And I've seen some videos that perform better, and some that still perform good, but probably just we'll use the better ones.
Yeah. And then do you think like you'd be able to continue like handling that if you were to bring in like even more work?
Excuse me. I would say yeah, because it would make it easier to balance everything out.
Mhm. Balance everything out in what way?
Well, in terms of the actual work being done, so like essentially, like if we have a bunch of calls, we each split between two people would basically divide the workload in half, so it would make it easier for me to manage other things. Yeah,
Yeah, between you and Teresa, right?
yeah,
Then from there, like, would you kind of take a more administrative manager role and like manage like the technicians so that you can kind of handle the like the marketing, the more logistical stuff?
essentially, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, from everything that you're telling me, like there's like there would be like one of two things. Like let's say for example, you were to do everything yourself. Like you kind of say it's more of a set it and forget it kind of thing. You're not always like constantly hands on or not constantly like bird's eye view on it because you're servicing, you're doing the marketing, stuff like that. Like it's kind of there's no real way to have 24/7 like watch over it, right? But if that's something that you wanted to do and you can see yourself actually handling that down the road, then yeah, like you can go ahead and like do that. Like if you feel like you can handle it, or if you feel that you want to personally like handle that workload, that's totally fine. Like where I kind of come in is like it's for a business owner that doesn't necessarily want to do all of it. Maybe they don't have time, maybe they don't understand it, maybe they would rather just put their energy into something else because sometimes when people get too busy, it's like they would rather free up their hands with a certain aspect of the business, have someone else do it.
Mm-hmm.
that's basically where I come in. It's like if instead of a 7-day campaign, set it and forget it, analyze it after. Like basically what we do is like just keep an eye on it 24/7. We keep an eye on it like 24/7, so you don't necessarily have to. So like how many hours do you like? How much time on a weekly basis, give or take, do you like spend time thinking about what kind of videos should we be doing? What posting it, writing the captions and stuff like that. Anything that involves like the marketing, like how much time do we spend?
Definitely a few hours when I'm really on top of it. Probably like about
There are a couple hours a morning, so I'll say like 10.
yeah, I would say probably like around between like 5 and 10 hours a week when I'm really on top of it. Sometimes like I'll be kind of lax on it, but other times when I'm really on top of it, yeah, it does take a little chunk of time.
Sure. So if you freed up that 5 to 10 hours a week, that would probably be about 40 hours a month. Like, let's see, that's maybe about 5 working days. So roughly about a week in terms of business days. Like if you had that time freed up, like what do you personally see yourself doing with it? Like, are there areas where you can be more efficient? Like if you had five extra days.
Like yes and no. I think like yes, there's a potential for it, but I think like right now I'm just not doing it, to be perfectly honest.
Not doing what? Not doing what?
Like not being so proactive and using all my additional time as efficiently as I could. Because even like I think like sometimes like I just need to actually make sure that I actually do it.
Yeah. What are some of those things?
I don't know. I guess like in-person marketing, like I could be going like kind of like how a sales rep would. Well, because like if you're building a business by yourself, you wear a lot of hats. So.
Yeah, 100%. So it's like if you were to go to more in-person, like I guess events, marketing events, workshops, whatever it ends up being, like if you were able to go and do that, like have you drummed up more business in the past from doing that?
Yeah. Yes and no. It kind of had mixed results.
Yeah. So it's like if you were to free up the 40 hours a month that we were talking about, if there was like more events, more things going on, like, oh, I can actually go and do that. Like I have that extra time to go do that. You can meet new people, network, maybe become a business, maybe partner with another business that benefits from something that you do, stuff like that. Maybe there's extra time to take Teresa out for dinner, like while you have technicians working on other projects for you. You don't necessarily have to worry about it. Like that's essentially the whole idea behind like why I'm offering the service. It's like if you're capable of doing it on your own, like by all means go ahead and do it on your own. But it's not so much, oh, I'm just taking this off your plate. It's more just like, okay, I'm taking this off your plate. You're buying yourself some time. Like you can be a little bit more free as a business owner. You can work on things to grow the business more. You can spend more time in your personal life. You can go out and do some networking events, stuff like that. So that's essentially like what all this is. It's like if you hired us, we got you more time. You were able to generate more leads and money with less effort on your part, so that you can free up your time to do whatever it is that you decide to do with your time. That's essentially the idea behind it. So That's that's pretty much what this whole thing's about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Teresa, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all the questions that you asked, I was wondering where you were going with all of that for a little bit, but I
God,
think that makes a lot of sense because because yeah, like if you're well, I like the idea of you running the ads. I don't really know where but I think that's a good point. Like, we're kind of just diving in and letting you like kind of run with it for us, and like you'll keep us updated on the results, and hopefully that will be a great investment and we'll get leads off of that. And then while he's completely hands off, not worrying about the ads, because you do spend a good amount of time on that, like in the mornings or whatever, like then he could really be more efficient with his time and kind of think about other things outside of running ads. And like obviously we're making this investment anyway, so in my opinion, I'm like, why not just go all in, and then let's think about what else we can do to grow the business now that we have someone else handling this. That's what I kind of think.
Amen to that. And Andrew, you have thoughts?
The amount of time that because I'm like, because we do the shooting and then I got to pick through all the videos and edit them all. And then, like the bulk of my time isn't like, oh my God, let me spend an hour and a half trying to like analyze all my ads. In reality, the bulk of my time is taken by like compiling all the videos and editing them. And then actually, so it's like, it'll take me about like 2.5 hours to actually take all the clips, edit them all, and then actually post them. And then that's really what takes the bulk of my time, not necessarily managing the actual ads.
Yeah, so I didn't even factor that in. So if you were factoring in editing, that probably doubles the amount of time, right?
Yeah. So that's where the whole like 10-hour a week idea will come in. And that's kind of why sometimes I get kind of lax on it, because sometimes, like sometimes, I mean, it really is a big undertaking too, honestly. Like it really honestly is, especially for someone like, I'm not an editor, like I'm not an editor by trade. I just do it because like I'm just, trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
And they actually do come out pretty good for the most part, but I know that it can be done better.
Mhm.
And I want, like, if you look at my page, you'll see the ones that are really professionally done, those I pay to get edited. And if you look at the ones where you as an editor, you'll be able to tell who, either if I did it or someone else did it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
probably, yeah. But I mean, even some of the stuff that I did see, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Like I can see why. Like I really liked that what was it called, the ASMR video that you guys did that went pretty viral compared to your other content. I was watching, I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about what you guys do, but just watching it, I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool. So I can kind of see why it got the traffic that it did as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you don't have to be a professional to make like videos that people actually like. Like you even said yourself, like sometimes they come out pretty good. Like, but anyway, so overall thoughts, like, is this something that you guys want to start moving forward with?
So that's coming back to what we were originally talking about. So basically also what can we see some of your, like, the ones, maybe some success stories of clients that you actually took through and were successful in work that you've done before?
Are you trying to say you want to see videos?
No, I just want to see some of his like previous.
Oh, he showed us last time too.
It's okay.
See, I have a bad memory, bro.
It's okay.
Yeah, which ones have you?
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look something up.
Yeah.
So this is, I had mentioned it in one of the testimonials in the pitch deck that I showed to you guys one of the previous calls, but I didn't go into super detail, but I just kind of wanted to show you like this is something that I have worked with another company on. So this is an electric scooter company that I've been working with since late 2019, I would say. Let me see. So this was actually the very first project that I worked with them on. And are you familiar with Indiegogo at all?
No.
Basically, it's a platform for startup companies. So, or even like Kickstarter. Have you heard of Kickstarter?
Yeah.
It's a similar idea. So like this is a video that I worked with them on, the very first one that I made, and then they put it on Indiegogo, and then the amount that was raised was 774. So that kind of kickstarted like, oh, let's keep doing like what we're doing, and then even just to preview the video a little bit, it's like basically we just created this like infomercial type of commercial. Infomercials aren't always like for everybody, but that's what the branding workshop is. Like I'm kind of consulting with you on what kind of content can be made, what kind of content like your competitors are making. Maybe if you've made content in the past, you can show me what kind of worked for you, stuff like that. And then continued working with them. These two I didn't actually do. They went with another person, but then they came back to me. So like, for example, really briefly, like they did some more campaigns. One made 155. This Patreon one. The next one they made 176. And then they worked on these two projects without me, and then they actually came back to me and we started working together again. This is the following one that we did. This one made 431. And from there, instead of going back and forth between companies, they just started sticking with me. And then,
So when they left you to try to do it by themselves, did it not go well?
I would assume so, because like I was saying, we did this first one, made a little under 800, and then I hadn't heard from them in a while. So, and then I noticed they started making these two projects, and then obviously I know they went to somebody else because they asked me like, oh, can you edit the footage for me? I was like, sure. Like, so without being too intrusive, I'm just kind of like, oh, so how did these projects go? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's just edit the footage so it wasn't a waste. I'm like, okay, no problem. So to kind of, without being too intrusive on him, I'm just like, well, maybe to put two and two together, maybe he didn't have a good experience. And then, so it's not my footage, but as part of our deal, I edited the footage for him. They released it, did okay. And then they came back to me, and I worked on it with this one, or I worked with them on this one, and then they were able to make a lot more.
So he was happier with your footage overall as well, is what you're saying too? Like the other guy's footage was like, eh, okay.
Yeah,
Wait, that's
exactly.
yours?
Yeah, this is mine.
Oh, wow. So you could even take videos of cars driving?
Yeah. Like, before like running my company full time, I was like a film worker in like the industry or in like Hollywood, quote unquote. So there's a lot of things that I learned like as a cinematographer to like really bring out like the best in a scene. So I brought that to my company, and then just try to produce videos like using like the people that I've met with their resources, my resources, etc. Like,
Dang.
so I have a team. Like I'm not just some random dude that you stumbled upon. Like I seem like a random dude, but But yeah, so
That footage was really good. Yeah, I liked it.
thank you. Let me see. They did like a relaunch of like the old one. I'm not exactly sure what that was. This is another one that we did. Made 5. So kind of just continued this trend. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So, let's see. So yeah, we like the footage, we like the work, but honestly, could we? So, but as far as like, because I am interested, and I want to strategize, and I want to make some good videos, and it seems like there's some pretty good editing on your part as well. Um, so we just want to see like but I don't feel that the value in you managing the ads is enough for me to want to spend the money on it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay.
Um,
What do you
but I
feel?
would, huh?
What do you feel like is missing?
Well, I just honestly feel like that I could I could just take care of the ad management.
Okay. Like you would still rather like go that route, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a problem. And then how are you feeling in terms of like moving forward? Like would you want to move forward without the ads and just go with the content? Or are you saying like the content only the content like so far is not as valuable to you as you would like? I'm just trying to make sure I understand.
No, I think it's a valuable package minus the ad management, and but I'm still but the purpose of the videos and shooting and all of the production is still for the purpose of ads.
Right.
So I would still want to move forward with the branding workshop and actually, set it up, get the vision, and basically, you know, do the whole package as if and with the end result being that they're still going to be running ads on them.
Sorry, say that last sentence again.
Then like the end result is still advertisements.
Mhm.
So in my head, I was asking you if we could do the same package just minus the ad management. But then
Right.
in the beginning of the call, it kind of seemed like you were like, well, it's kind of more just. It seemed that you were communicating to me that it was more just shooting the content, editing, and that's it.
Well, that's essentially, if we don't do the ads, that's essentially what it is. Like I can still do like the workshop with you and make sure that we're still on the same page of what's going into the content. But if you wanted to manage the ads on your own, that's kind of what it ends up being. Like if you wanted to handle that, I say, okay, then I can shoot the content, edit it for you, and then deliver it for you. And then from there, you can manage the ads.
Yeah.
He's
Like that's
supposed to do the branding workshop with you. So.
Okay. And then would you still include the photography in the package?
I can still include it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, then I think I feel comfortable moving forward.
Okay. Perfect. And I think the what I originally told you through the DM. Um, yeah, I wrote 2,250. So you guys would be down to move forward with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Sweet. So what I can do, we can go one of two ways. I'll write up a contract and send you the invoice, and then you guys can take care of that. Once you take care of that, then we can move forward. Or we can take payment now, the first payment now, and then I can lock you in with everything, and then move everything along faster. Like which one would you want to do?
Let's just do the contract. Also, additionally, let me see. What kind of? Let me see. Like so we're getting 4 videos. I'm just not 100% like, so basically I'm just not 100% sure if we can get all that done in one day, to be honest.
Mhm. Well, we're going to be planning. Well, when we're planning for the actual videos, then I'm going to plan it. I'm going to plan everything for actually fitting within that schedule too. So that's something that we're going to end up discussing, basically.
Okay. And then, so what kind of videos would you think would perform best for my business? Because I mean, like I said, the ones that we've done in the past have just been, me at a job doing the work, and then basically you get to see, what we do.
I think some of those would be cool too, based off the footage you have with the scooters. I feel like we could do some pretty cool stuff for even just your work.
Yeah, like even like a more elevated version. Like for example, I would like to make kind of recreate what's been successful for you already, which is like the ASMR videos. It would just be a little bit more elevated. Another video that I think would be another kind of video I think would be good is something more along the lines of introducing yourselves, like putting a face to your actual like brand, because that's as like a smaller family-owned business. That's what helps separate you from, say, another auto glass company. There's not a lot of people that are willing to like talk on camera and kind of show themselves. So when you actually show yourself, present yourself, and like put a face to the brand, people like that. People like being able to kind of like connect in that sort of way with people. That's why I was sharing. I don't know if you remember, but I shared one of the testimonials I was sharing was with the sunglasses company. Like, at least from what they told me, they said there's hardly anyone in their industry that actually does that. So as a result, you're a commodity. It's like if everyone's like offering same exact thing, then it's like, all right, which one's the cheapest? Versus you see company over here that you could actually kind of see them. They're willing to present themselves. They're willing to introduce their team. They're willing to kind of show you a little bit more details about who they are. That's an opportunity for connection with the people that are watching you. That's why it's social media, right? So something along the lines of that, or is at least those two things, is kind of like some of the, off the top of my head, some of the things I think would be good for you guys.
So essentially, more work videos, and then maybe like here we are. This is our company. This is what we believe in. This is what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And of course, that will all be scripted, worked on. Like you'll know exactly what you'll know what you're gonna say before shooting. You'll know like what's gonna be said, so everything's on brand, on message with what you want, what aligns with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, like something like that, and then recreating some things that have already worked with you in the past. Just make them a little bit more elevated, and then try to take some of that editing work off your hands.
Yeah. Okay. So my main concern is, so like I said, a lot of people want like same day. Sometimes I'll have customers where, I'll like, usually my schedule is never booked beyond 2 days ahead of me. Like,
Right.
and it's been extremely rare. I think it's only happened a couple times where, let's say it's Monday, someone called and I'm like, I literally can't get you in until Wednesday or Thursday. I think that's only happened like 2 or 3 times. What I'm trying to communicate here is almost every day it's same day service, or like maybe 1 day ahead is my schedule is booked, and then and it's kind of patchy as far as like scheduling goes. So my concern is, I know you like offer like a 1 day shoot. Is it acceptable or possible that if it needs to be 2 days, is that also okay?
Like given your situation and like how your business runs, I've run into that before. So like, yeah, like I can do that for you. Like you can't this like I had a situation where my car windshield got messed up too. So I'm like, I need you now. Like I can't
Yeah.
drive around like this. So I totally get it. In this circumstance, so like, yeah, let's be I'll be flexible on that. Like I don't I'm not going to be charging like a daily fee for it. It's just like this is what that package looks like, or this is what the cost looks like, and then whatever like I have to do to deliver, like let's focus more on that than like the days. It's like that's just the nature of your business. So like it's it works best for all of us, like just being flexible, right?
Yeah.
So, or to answer your question, yes.
Yeah, that was the only other reason that I couldn't set up a retainer with my other editor, which even though his work is like stellar, he offered like a 1 day shoot, and he actually only offered like a 2 hour window. So I was like, one job is going to take me that long, especially while shooting. Like a 1 hour job. Well, it's different with me and my wife because I'll be like, record here, move here, move here, move here. I don't tell my video guy, hey, do this, do this, do this. He just kind of does it. And I'm like, you ready? He's like, yeah, okay, boom, down, next step. So it'll flow a little smoother. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, that yeah, there's no way to accomplish, a valued, amount of time. And basically what I'm trying to say is it's a little more volatile. It takes a little bit longer.
Sure. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, and then of course, like whatever we can do to kind of smooth that out, let's do that. But of course, like it's kind of like an emergency service. It's like you don't have much control over that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be willing to be flexible on that.
Okay.
So
All right,
sweet.
cool. Sounds good.
So you want to go ahead and move forward with that then?
Yeah, we can do that.
Good to both you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So what I will do then, I'll write out the contract for you. I'll send you the invoice. Or did you want to do um, in this particular case, since we're not actually like doing the package, and the package that we are going with is a little bit more short term. The two options I have is you could either pay it up front, or we can do a 50% down and then a 50% when the project is finished. Is there a specific one that you guys wanted to go with?
Yeah, we'll just do the 50-50.
Okay, perfect. So I'll go ahead and set that up. Give me till around maybe the end of the day to receive it, and
Yeah.
then once all that stuff is processed, then I could book you in for the follow-up like branding workshop. Then we can start hammering in the details from there. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sweet. All right. Well, appreciate your time, guys.
All right, cool. For sure. Thank you, Scott. Look forward to working with you.
Yeah, looking forward to working with you too. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you for your time and your input.
All right.